So good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to our team meeting tonight, or Clare Hingott's team and my team. And in fact, there's all sorts of people's teams in here. I know we have a few adopted people and cross-team people, and it's all absolutely wonderful. So very, very warm welcome to December the 6th and Grow Your UW Business 2022. So we're going to talk a bit this evening about what's happened in the last year and the updates. I know that there's a few people on here who have not been active for various reasons, for lots of different reasons for the last few months or even years. So if you are here and you haven't done anything for a while, very, very warm welcome. We're going to do our very best in an hour to give you a bit of a recap of where we are now and what the business looks like now, and then some tips and hints as to what you can do to grow your business. If we get finished in time, but you know what Claire and I are like, well, you know what Claire's like and I are like when we get going. If we get finished in time, there will be an opportunity for questions at the end. So anything that you want to ask either of us, that's absolutely fine. And we are going to finish at 8 o'clock. I keep saying this to Claire, we are going to finish 8 o'clock. That's our plan, so that we're not going to take up all your evening. But I think you'll find that it is useful. And we've got lots of good stuff to share. So obviously use the chat. I can see some of you are already. Once we get into the slides, yes, please, so I can watch EastEnders. Isabella, that's brilliant. I love that. Why not? Mind you can watch on catch up, you know, if we are interesting and we do go over at 8 o'clock, I don't want you actually leaving the meeting to go and watch EastEnders, because we'll be very upset if you do that. So yes, please use the chat if you've got any questions or anything you want to ask as we go through. Although, as I said, when the slides are going and we're both talking, we may not really be able to see the chat as well. So if we don't, we will try and get to it at the end. Excelente. Right, shall we crack on? Shall I jump into the slides and hope that everything works properly? Claire, can you keep an eye on the waiting room for a minute while I just
absolutely get yeah, I try and disable it. I actually.
Right, let me
go. We got some good stuff to cover with you tonight, and I'm going to be bigging up my friend Celia Gadd, because she's had an extraordinary November. We're going to share she's going to share some tips on how she did that, which I'm looking forward to learning from, for sure.
Okay, let me just get through to. There we are. So we know it's December the 6th. You're in the right room. You're in a UW meeting. There we are. Slide one is just to let you all know that you're in the right place. And hopefully, there we are. So we wanted to start this evening just talking sort of quickly really about November. Obviously, in a normal team meeting, when it's just our team, we do recognition for everybody and those that have really smashed it in the last month. You're right with that waiting room, Claire? Is that okay? There's a few people.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm admitting all.
So first of all, I'd like to say very, very, very warm welcome to any new team members that are either watching this live or on catch up later. So if you have joined us in November or the beginning of December, really warm welcome, and super excited for you to be getting involved at this time. And we're going to explain why as we go through this evening. So massive congratulations. And November was actually, as company-wide, the best November ever in 26 years, which is quite incredible. So a really, really good November. Now, don't worry if you look at your personal numbers or your team's numbers and you think, oh, well, my November wasn't that great, because we automatically always do that thing, don't we, when we compare ourselves to everybody else. And that's one of the mindset shifts I want to talk to you about this evening. So don't immediately go on the comparing yourself to everybody else. That's not what this is about. There's someone else in the waiting room, Claire.
Oh, yeah, I am trying to. Can you disable the waiting room, Celia? Is that okay?
Probably not. Without
click on more, and I can't do it as I'm co-host. It's not allowing me. Go on, you keep going.
Enable. I'm just seeing if I can break it.
You know, click on.
There isn't
okay
to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to talk just very quickly then, just some recognition for some of my fabulous team in November. Just a few shout outs really. So first one, I don't know if she's on here this evening, but hopefully we'll be watching on catch up if she's not, is Sherelle Armstrong in my business is only 18 years old, or she might be just 19, and she was our top customer gatherer in November, which I'm absolutely thrilled for, particularly because she did not have a good start with support from friends and family. And how many people do we know that get blown out and just stop when that happens? But she's a determined little thing, and has kept going using social media and is putting customers on really regularly now, which is absolutely fantastic. And a shout out to Glenn, Jodie, Jane and Ferdu as well, who had a good month for customer gathering. I know Jane Swinnerton's on here, so Jane is very much back with a vengeance in November and was our top recruiter, bringing in 6 new partners in November. So well done, Jane. That's absolutely awesome. And I just wanted to mention as well Carl Thomas, who was on the leaderboards as a supporting partner in November for the first time. And Carl's just 4 group customers away from team leader. So I know he's working with a few of his new team members to hopefully get that done this side of Christmas. And I know Julie's on here as well, Julie Tompkins. I've seen you on here, and Julie's also really close to team leader as well. So we're rooting for those 2, and it'd be great to have a couple of nice promotions like that in the run up to Christmas. Okay, Jane, who did you want to just shout out to in this bit? Claire, sorry.
Oh, so, yeah.
I read Claire. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'd like to say a shout out to Tony Cavasciuti, Cavi's on here, and Chris and Karen Haynes. Tony got a flying club. Chris and Karen Haynes got a Hayes got a future team leader. Catherine Fairclough hit a flying club. We had some brilliant customer gathering last month. Richard Davis, who's on here, he signed up 13 customers. Catherine Fairclough, Tony Cav, Sarah Casey, Stuart and Kelly Wilson, Isabella Rossi, Matt and Sarah Sweden, Bella's on here. They had a fabulous customer gathering month. John and Emma Boatman were our top recruiters, and Richard Davis and Sarah Casey. So well done to you all. Absolutely so proud of you. So thrilled for you. Really taking advantage of this perfect storm that we're in, because November was the best November the company have ever had. And we signed up more customers in November, Celia, than we have in the past 2 years.
Yeah, I know, and I say in our best November ever. So really, really fantastic. But like I said, that wasn't you, because that's what tonight's about, to help you get there as well. And
also, we should give a shout out to people who've been to Paris. I know John and Emma Boatman, Julie and Greg Williams went on, and Clare Rumblow. And next weekend it's been cancelled. Sorry, Glenda, I know you're on here, and it's been cancelled. We gutted for you. And get hands up if you're going to Paris or you've qualified for the weekend breaks. It was amazing. So well done to you guys as well. Anybody in your team, Celia, going away?
Oh yeah, Jodie was away actually. She was in London last weekend. Yeah, and a couple of us. I don't think anyone has gone to Paris, but yeah, to have that cancelled again is not good. But I'm sure the company will do something wonderful to make up for that very, very soon. I'm sure they will. Okay, so here we are. We're going to jump into sort of the nitty gritty of tonight. Now, this is not just a sort of me and Claire show evening at all, but the reason this slide came about and this little bit was we've been hearing from Andrew and all sorts on the leadership calls recently how the quietest period ever in the history of Utility Warehouse was between 2014 and 2018. Now, I know quite a few of you on here probably joined in that time, or you were around about working the business in that time. And that was when Claire and I both got to senior group leader, and it just makes me smile really, because nobody told us it was the quietest time ever. As if they had, we might not have believed we could do that. And that's what this is all about. So much about belief and posture, and setting goals and really making sure that they're going to happen. So what did we do and how did we do it? Claire, do you want to just go through this bit and sort of a bit about what we did?
We buddied up, okay? And we cannot tell you the power of buddying up and finding a success buddy. We're nothing to do with each other's business. And so my number one thing to you as we end the year is, can you find a partner, a buddy for next year, or make it happen before this year is out? We came accountable to each other. We would let each other know what we were doing, date calls, texts, egging each other on, just being there for one another. Accountability is a powerful thing. And we just asked, we got in touch with everybody in our team and said, this is what we're doing. And we helped people, and we reached out and we said, this is what we're doing. Do you want to come on the journey? And of course, we went on a massive recruiting drive. Okay. We're always looking for new blood and that new energy and that new oxygen. And we did this, we did team meetings. We've always done team meetings and challenges. And we were just there leading from the front, recruiting and helping people. We didn't have mentorship then. We helped people, but we didn't get paid for it. We didn't get any holiday points for it. We just did it anyway. And we just did whatever we could to just get the numbers in. And the day that I got to SGL, I remember Wayne Coupland rang me and he said, well done, Miss Hingott. He said, you've got to SGL in the most difficult time the company's ever known. And I was like, what, really? And he was like, yeah. I was like, seriously? No. He said, I had no idea. For me, it was my business, our business. We were booming, you know, we were doing so well. We were on the leaderboards like we are now. We had no idea. Now, had I known, maybe my mindset would have been a bit different. Maybe I would have been a bit more, well, you know, it's difficult because it's a difficult time. And because I didn't know, sometimes ignorance is bliss. So Celia and I got together and we got to SGL within a month of each other. And we buddied up, and we had no idea that the company were going through this famine period, this winter, 4 years, 3 years after I joined, the worst time the company have ever known. So isn't that interesting? And it's like now, some of you will have an amazing business thriving while others won't, because out of adversity comes opportunity for some and challenges for others. So it's about your mindset. How can you focus your mindset to think, why can't I thrive in a climate like now? Why not? So we thought we'd share that with you because it was interesting to us at the time, because we had no idea that UW were literally flat as they were, you know, it was flat as a witch's tit. Excuse my French. For you.
I find it really fascinating.
It was horrendous. It was like, I was like, what? Seriously? Yeah. You know, Wayne was like, this is a terrible time and you've got to SGL. So if we can do it, any bugger can do it. They were on their arse. Yeah. But we still made it happen.
And what's really interesting is to think that. So in 2017, so over a year before we both got promoted, our businesses were very different as well. So you had the numbers, but not the structure. And I sort of was close to the structure, not the numbers. So our businesses were really different. But for them to, you know, Claire going to SGL, and I remember this well, because I had that comparison thing. Oh my God, she's done it before me. February the 14th. And then I got to SGL on March the 13th. So how interesting to be that close when we started a goal a year out, and that just shows how focused we were actually on making that happen. So that was really, really good.
Find a buddy, guys. Find a buddy and let them know what you're doing.
Right, Claire, I'm going to ask you to do this slide as well, only because the people want more bit links very well into what you're talking about at Mastermind this weekend. So are you okay to just run through this bit as well, and then I'll take it?
Yeah, totally. Listen, last week, you know, we went up to Manchester. A few team members of mine, Glenda was one of those. She's on here tonight to listen to Andrew Lindsay speak at Stefan Longworth's masterclass. And he said, you know, we've never been in a better position. In 10 weeks, 50 companies have gone bust, most of our competitors. This is what I'm telling people. Look, listen, there's the big six that nobody wants to be with because all the crap is going there and they don't really want anybody else. And it's all going wrong, because you can imagine all these customers being filtered through to them. You can imagine the strain on the companies. There's the big six, there's Shell, there's Octopus, and there's us. Shell, Octopus, don't give referrals, don't give 50 quids for smart meters, don't give an opportunity where you can either earn money with us by referring me to your family and friends, or with a bit of training and my help you could earn up to 250 quid. Which one do you like the best? None of those have got what we have got. Our competition has fallen by the wayside. We've gone from being in the worst position, thinking are we going, you know, our business is going to go backwards, to now being in the best position. People have reassessed and realigned their goals big time. They don't want to be stuck in the car commuting. They don't want to be sitting next to somebody in work that they hate. They've loved working from home. People are restless and they've reassessed their life. This is what I'm going to be talking about in Mastermind. The theme of Mastermind this year, which is next weekend, is getting back to business basics. And you know, people are open to a side hustle, a plan B, a side project, call it what you want. And obviously all the other crap that we hear all the time on the news about everything going up, taxes, inflation, fuel, food. So people have never, ever been in such a bad place where they want more. Now, yeah, recruiting is a bit behind. But let me tell you, in January, people are still half asleep. People have got their heads in the sand and in denial. But let me tell you, next year, there's going to be a wave. People are going to realise that they're in the SH1T. Sorry, I'm just taking that out of Teddy's mouth. I have no idea what that is. Stopping my puppy from joking. And recruiting is going to be massive. Okay, people are going to be skint after Christmas, as well as everything else that we've got going on in our environment right now. So it really is a great time. And Celia is going to share some great tips with us tonight about how she's thriving at the moment, like many of you are. And if you aren't, don't worry about it. I had a really bad November. So here we are in the best place we've ever been, the best November we've ever had as a company, not for Clare Hingott. All right, an SGL with lots of experience. And you may have seen the post I put on the UW Facebook group saying I had this big call blast and I didn't get one appointment, and I still haven't got any appointments in my diary. Okay, that's what it's like, whether you're a TL, an SGL, is seasons of business. While other people are thriving, you maybe not. Try not to compare yourself. Just swim in your own lane and think to yourself, what can I do? All I can do is try. Okay, so it's the same for me. Celia had an amazing month. I had a crappy month. Some people on here have had amazing months, other people haven't. Don't worry about it, okay?
No, we still share, Claire and I still share our figures, don't we, every day and every sort of Monday morning. Yeah. And, you know, we know the peaks and troughs are just there and part of the business, sure. But, you know, hopefully there's some stuff in this tonight that will help you feel that you can keep your pipeline a bit fuller, because I think that's what it's about. But firstly, this is very much for the people, particularly that maybe haven't, you know, been in the business for a little while or haven't done any appointments for a while or any presentations, because I just want to go over these few things. And, you know, do you know what you have your hands on with this business right now? Because quite frankly, I think you possibly don't. So we have obviously the amazing remote appointments. So if you haven't done appointments recently, this came in March 2020 as a result of the pandemic, but it's very much here to stay. So now I have done, since the start of the pandemic, I've actually personally done about 4 face-to-face appointments. All my other appointments are still remotely. For me, it suits me because I've got the kids. It means, you know, less travel time, less petrol money, less driving for miles and having the no-shows. Now, the other thing about the remote appointments is so many people genuinely do want to work from home. And one of the things that put them off when you were recruiting them was because they didn't want to go face to face or get in the car, or maybe they can't drive, or maybe they're disabled, or maybe they're poorly, or maybe they're a mum with young kids at home. The remote appointments has opened the door to loads more people. So we've really got to remember that when we're recruiting. We did, so this is what you've got that Claire and I didn't have back in 2018, some of this stuff. So 1% cashback, for example. I know it sounds like a little thing, but it's a huge thing. The cashback card in itself with all the improvements is massive. £50. Now, when I do the presentation and I say to people, have you got a smart meter yet? And if they haven't, and I say, oh, you're going to get a £50 credit on your bill for having one, you know, that's incredible. I'm giving you £50 to have a smart meter. That's what we do for people now, if you didn't know that. Everybody saves. Guess what that means? It means everybody saves. So this is something that's quite new as well. And it's important that you do get your head around this properly, because if your posture is right going into an appointment and you really do understand how everybody saves works, you are going to have a much, much higher percentage of customers signing up. So it's quite simple. If they become double gold, and let's face it, most people do if they can, you know, unless they are in a very recent contract or something like that. And please don't do what a lot of people are doing at the moment, is sort of take the easy cop out and go energy only just because we're still cheaper energy only at the moment for the first time ever. Because I've definitely noticed in my team, we've got a lot more energy only customers and not just double gold. And I know why, because I've had a few appointments when it's so tempting when somebody says to you, I only want energy, and you do the quote and we're cheaper, and they say, great, thank you very much. But we all know that those customers, they're going to be stickier than normal at the moment because they've got nowhere else to go really, but it's still much, much more worth your while financially and in every other way to show them the proper double gold package. So if you show them double gold, everybody saves kicks in. So this quite simply means, let's say they are paying £120 a month at the moment with their current providers, and it comes out as £140 a month with UW. Well, you just have to send in a copy of their bills, just 1 month's bills, into everybodysaves@uw.co.uk. Head office will do the number crunching on a like-for-like basis. So in that scenario, we would have been £240 over the year more expensive. So the customer is going to get £290 credited back, divided into 12 back onto their bills, because not only do we match what they're on, but they get an extra 50 quid. So I hope that makes sense. If you haven't done an appointment for a while and you're just getting going again, then remember that you can get a mentor to help you now in your appointments. It doesn't matter whether you've been in a week, 10 years, 15 years or 20 years, you can be mentored again in your appointments. And the person that helps you basically gets half the money, but it's very, very worthwhile. If you're a little bit sticky and you want to have a couple of practices, why not line up a couple of people, ask someone to help you. They can support the appointments. You can learn as you go along. Now, there's also £50 on the cashback card when they register if they're double gold. And as Claire alluded to a bit earlier, the £50 referral fee thing is gold dust. So if they become a customer, even if they're energy only, and they refer you to someone who becomes a double gold customer, the customer that referred you will get £50 off their bill if they're a homeowner and £10 if they're a tenant. So what a brilliant way to spread the word, and definitely referrals at the moment. You really should be getting more referrals than you ever have before, because people are just talking about the energy crisis. And it's very easy for people to say, oh, just have a chat with Claire, have a chat with Andy, have a chat with Celia, because she might be able to help you. And it's only £10 to register a partner, whether they're a customer or not. You know, we should be recruiting people every day, and it being only £10, plus the fact that you can now earn up to £400 per customer. So a double gold homeowner is £250. If they take the boiler cover as well, it's £300. And if you do 4 or more of those in a month, the company give you an extra £100. So, you know, you've only got to show a few people this thing properly, and they are going to be wanting to join you for sure. So that's a little bit of a sort of recap, if you like, of some of the great customer gathering initiatives, if you like. So what are you going to do to make sure that 2022 is much better than 2021? Claire, do you want to talk through this slide, and then I'll take over for the next one again? Is that all right?
Yeah, so we know this business is all mindset and skills. You can't really do one without the other, can you? So we've got to just focus on, what do we want? You know, have you been on the UW goal setting course? Celia's also running a course next year about that. Because goals are just deciding what you want and writing that stuff down. What do you want to do, see, have, become? Now is a great time to maybe start making a vision board. I know you think it's pink and fluffy, but it's statistically proven that if you can see your goals every day somewhere on a wall, on your phone somewhere, you're 33% more likely to achieve it. Making a plan. Now is a good time to be planning for next year. How many customers would you like to be doing every month? How many partners, you know, how many team leaders would you like to crack? Personally, I like to think that I like to personally try and recruit a team and help somebody get a team leader every year. And I think that is a really, really good thing to try and focus on, cracking one team leader every year. What can you do? Training and skills. There's an abundance of stuff on the portal and within your team and cross team to help you get going. And obviously the number one paying event in our business, the one key thing is promoting events and getting yourself around positive people, not the stinking thinkers, you know, associating well. Why attend events? Because leaders are born at events. I said this last night. I was on Wes Linden's thing last night, big night in. Events can do for you and your team what you can't do by yourself. So the mindset comes from attending events. If you attend events, you get inspired, you get skilled up. So one affects the other. It's like this chain reaction. So, and how are you going to find some customers? We're going to talk about that now. Okay, Celia's going to share some top skills on how she did 7 customers last month without speaking to anybody. And 5 of those were double golds. She didn't have to ring out for anybody from a referral book or anything like that. She is a master of social media. She's attended courses on social media, and she runs a course on social media. So she's social media is like a boss, as the young cool people would say. And so she's gonna talk to us about that now, because it's really contentious at the moment in his social media. Do we, don't we, how do we? Some people say we shouldn't. Some people are saying, like Celia, that now is the best time to come out of the UW closet and use social media, but it's how we do it. So I asked, and referrals, yeah, BNI, recruit, networking, and social media, big hot things right now. Bella's just put in the chat, you know, hers have come from networking. Loads of people are picking up networking now. When I joined and Celia joined, only like SGLs did networking. And now we've got like TLs in our team doing networking. Like there's people on here, we're into networking, joining BNI at TL and STL level. It was kind of unheard of. And these people really are thriving at the moment. I know people in my team who are doing networking really are. Some of them are on here tonight, you know, Glenda, Dave, Bella. They're really going to town with this networking like Celia is. And then social media is something I need to improve on. So let's dig down and get dirty on that, Celia, if you can.
Okay, yeah. So I just want to start with the thought of, if you were starting any other business other than utility warehouse, or maybe another MLM, maybe product-based one or something like that, but most businesses, your main plan for next year would not be hoping that your friends and family become customers and pass you on to a few people, and hoping that you're going to bump into enough people in the supermarket that you can randomly tell them what it is that you do, and that they'll book you to come and do the plumbing on their house, or cut your hair, or whatever it is. So what I mean by that is, I really do think we need to start treating our business like a business. And we've all heard that, but what do I mean by that? So if you're going to make a proper plan for next year to double or triple or quadruple your business, or do whatever it is that you want to do, firstly, something we don't talk about very much in UW is money. So how much would you like to earn next year out of your business? We always talk about how many customers or how many partners or what promotion you'd like to get to. How about how much would you like to earn? Because actually that's quite a powerful figure to write down. So, and we know there was somebody that joined the business in September, I think I'm right in saying, that got paid in November over £12,000 in 1 month as a fairly new partner. Now that obviously is off the scale and most people aren't going to do that. But write down a figure, write down a financial figure you would like to earn next year. Because it's not all about money, but I would like to bet most of you join the business to earn some extra money, and all the other fun things have come along and you sort of kid yourself that you're staying in because it's fun, but actually you join for money. So money's something. Put down how much you'd like to earn, and then seriously, realistically, how are you going to do it? Because if you haven't got all these things that are on the screen now very, very high up in your priorities for next year, you are just hoping you are going to get to your goals and dreams and everything else. You're just hoping. You can do all your vision boards, which is a really good idea, but unless you actually know what you're going to do to get those customers, you are just hoping. And I know that's true because I've hoped my way through the last 12 years. And some months it's worked and some months it hasn't. Claire, how often do you start the month having a bit of a hope about where your customers are?
Yeah, I think, oh my God, I've got nothing in the diary.
Yeah,
you know, totally. And this is why what you're saying makes so much sense. We're in business. We've got a plan, haven't we?
We're in business. And I think where it goes wrong with us is because we're told when we first come in that we don't advertise. So you immediately think, oh, I can't advertise, so therefore I'm just going to have to sit around at home and hope that the postman wants to become a customer when he drops off a parcel today, or hope that the I'm going to meet someone dog walking who happens to talk about their energy bill and I'm going to be able to drop it in there in conversation. But in reality, that doesn't really happen. So networking is absolutely key. And obviously networking just means building your network. All right. So don't be scared by the word networking. It doesn't necessarily mean that you've got to go to BNI or a business networking group if that isn't for you. But it does mean you've got to be outwardly trying to bring people into your life. And the reason social media can work so well alongside networking is that when you meet and connect with people out in the real world, you can bring them into your online world via Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever social media platform you're on. And then once they're in your world and they're watching what you do, you can then start to feed them information and you can connect with them and you can build relationships with them. So networking is really key. And I've sort of dabbled with networking up until really the pandemic, when I started to take it more seriously. And that for me, the great thing was when it did come online, because with the kids, it's always been hard to go out and do breakfast networking meetings and all those sort of things. And I've tried BNI and that wasn't really for me. I know it works brilliantly for lots of people in UW, but for me, it was a little bit stuffy and a bit regimented. But there are so many networking groups you can join. Networking online. So if you go into Facebook groups, search networking in Facebook, there's hundreds of groups. I've just started not long ago as a leader for Mums in Business. So again, it's sort of an online Facebook group, and then we meet once a month as a face-to-face meeting, and it's been absolutely brilliant. Now, business networking is all about you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours in a very nice way. You can't jump in and expect immediate results, but if you do support other people in your group and buy from them, and recommend them and tell other people about them, guess what they're going to do for you? They're going to do the same. And it doesn't take very long, particularly when you've got an energy crisis and a pandemic and all sorts of things going on. It doesn't take very long for people to keep recommending you as the person to go to when they are moaning about their energy bill. So most of the customers that came my way this month in November, without me doing anything, were literally messages coming into my inbox saying, Celia, can you help me, please? Sorry to bother you, they actually said. Sorry to bother you. Would it be okay if you had a look at my bills to see if you could help me? Now, how lovely a message is that compared to us hustling and ringing people up and chasing them up the street and all that sort of thing.
That's where we want to be, isn't it? That's where we want to be.
Yeah, and it takes time, but that's why that should be on your plan for next year. You know, absolutely should be on your plan for next year. How am I going to build my network and build more relationships and develop them? Referrals, Claire is the master on referrals. Getting referrals in the appointment has never been my best thing at all. But what I'm finding now is I'm just getting those referrals coming in without actually having to ask the names and numbers. They're just coming my way, which again, it's as a result of the current crisis for sure, but it's very, very nice. And it's almost like training people to give you referrals and making sure that you thank them. And then all of this feeds into social media. Now, we're not going to talk about 20Ks and events and neighbour letters tonight, because there's lots of training on that. It's not my forte or my area of expertise, really. I've done it successfully. And I know, Claire, either we're going to focus on sort of networking and social media, if that's okay, because I think that's probably the areas that more people need more help from this.
And it's hot right now. You see, networking and social media is so hot, and there is a division about should we do it, how do we do it, you know, and Celia's really good. And I asked her to share some examples and to share her Facebook wall, actually, so you can see some examples of the language she's using and that kind of thing. She's gladly and kindly agreed to do that.
I didn't really, she forced me into it.
I badgered her into it.
Hang on. Okay, let me just get up. I know lots of you, quite a lot of you are my friends on Facebook anyway, so you'll have seen some of this stuff. So, I don't know how to do that.
Maybe we can actually get some questions going in the chat. If anybody wants, you know, we don't want to bombard with questions. Nobody will answer that now. But if you've got any specific question that Celia isn't answering, perhaps you can, you know, get your questions answered.
For some reason, it's not letting me come out of that. Let me just see if that works. Right.
Something's happening, Celia. I can see, so I'll tell you when it comes up.
Yeah, I'm going to have to just go into Facebook again.
My dog is going crazy outside. I'm just going to let him in.
Oh, it's not going to want me to log in, is it? I have no idea. Sorry, I did have it ready for you all, but I've lost it. Technology is not my strength, so just bear with me a second. This might come up. So I think of obviously your personal Facebook feed. Now, for example, at the moment, my cover picture is not UW. My cover picture at the moment is about the course I'm running in January, which I've just put up there recently. Bio, I've got Senior Group Leader of UW. I've got the other things that I do in there as well. So there was a time when we were told not to say what we do almost, and this intrigue and all that sort of stuff. And I honestly do think at the moment that's not wise, because if people are looking for someone to help them out with the energy crisis, they want to be able to find you. So here are Senior Group Leader, Company Trainer, Mini Owner, Senior Group Leader at UW. So it's all on there. Now, the sort of top tips really, and I know no idea what we'll really see if we just scroll down this. Claire did earlier and she said it was okay to share. The top tips here is that most of your social media should be social. Okay, so most of your social media should be you chatting about, you know, people getting to know you, about your life. Thank you, Sue, for commenting on that. I know Sue's on here tonight. Obviously, I've got some Christmas stuff on there.
Christmas
the last few days. Yeah, Christmas I've got a bit about the course again.
Yeah.
That's Eric went out to a kids party the other night, so that's on there. Batman. See, it's not very businessy at all, the last few posts, but we'll get to some in a minute. But this is quite a good example, because if someone went on here, they wouldn't immediately go, oh my God, look at her, she's just going on about utility warehouse all the time. Here we are, this is a good example. So Julie, who's on here this evening, did a lovely post. So Julie is really good as well at her social media. So she's just done a lovely post the other day because it was her 3rd year anniversary of being in UW. So she's put a lovely post in there saying how quickly it's gone, how much she's loved it, thanking me and her purple friends for so much fun, friendship and guidance. Now, I didn't ask Julie to do that. She did that off her own back.
That's lovely.
But that is an example of a really good post that links you with your business in a really positive way, but without ramming it down people's throats. But it's very obvious there that I am part of, you know, Julie's team or whatever. Now, this is me sharing something that one of my customers, so this is a really good customer of mine who I met through Mums in Business Networking, and she started doing these parties. So I've shared that for her. So guess what she does every time she sees anybody talking about energy or utilities or anything like that on Facebook?
Positive stuff for you.
She immediately tags me. Okay.
This is the one I liked.
Yeah, so this was just one. So this is a sort of example to use the tools that we're given. We're given so much potential PR things to write about at the moment from UW. So this was just a really simple one. Can I help you so that we can help more young homeless people get off the street? I absolutely love this thing that we're doing with the homeless people,
amazing.
Double Gold customers. It's such a brilliant message. Now, the interesting thing that I said to Claire is you might look at this and go, oh, only 4 people liked that. That's true. Directly, only 4 people liked that. However, I got a personal message after I posted that by somebody asking for an appointment. All right, so don't always assume that the ones with the most likes and comments on are the only ones that people see. Oh, that's me being Catherine Hepburn.
Lovely. Why not? I can see the likeness, obviously.
And there we are. Look at this, and I'm thanking 2 people for referrals.
Oh, that's good.
That in turn has meant that through Centrepoint, 2 young homeless people have a room of food for a month. So that was a really cool one. And that's giving them recognition and thanks, obviously, because they did refer me and both those people became customers. You're sort of getting the gist, I'm sure. Obviously, there's a post about the event
I like
coming
this
up.
one too, because it doesn't really say what it is, you know, but it's look at that. Wow, this is going to be an incredible event to all my UW friends. Make sure you book your tickets before you run out. It's creating a bit of intrigue.
Yeah, and people don't like, there's a bit of FOMO there for people that aren't UW that want to see what's going on. This is another example. So again, Ashley is one of the Mums in Business ladies. So I went to hers for a pamper evening. She is an accountant, bookkeeper. I've already passed quite a bit of work her way. And then Helen is the lady that did the Temple Spa. So again, those 2 now are recommending me whenever, again, anyone comes up to say, or they hear anyone moaning about their utility
They just
bill.
tag you in, do they?
They just tag me in, yeah. That's another referral one there. So you get the gist of it. So it's not in your face saying, I can save you money on your gas and electricity bill. It's not that obvious. It's more subtle than that. But I have more than ever recently actually said a couple of times. So I'm just going to come out of this, just to come back to you guys a minute. So my advice is, if you're not really using social media yet for your business.
How could we start, Celia? What would be an example of like a good first post?
A good first post would be you telling your story and explaining about what you do. Because there's nothing worse than people not being able to find out what you do by going through your social media, particularly if you're going to be doing networking. Because when you go networking or when you meet anybody in the real world these days, what do you think the first thing they do is?
Check you out on Facebook.
They do. They go and stalk you on Facebook. That's what most people do. So when they go and stalk you on Facebook, ask yourself this question. Firstly, would they know what I do? And secondly, would they want to join my team? Now, it's okay to be yourself on Facebook. So there are quite a lot of, actually, that wasn't too bad in those ones we've gone through. Wine wasn't mentioned at all. Normally, when I go about 3 posts back, someone's tagged me in with a large bottle of wine. But normally, you know, I don't mind that. So if somebody's offended by somebody that drinks wine and they don't want to join my team, do you know what? That's okay, because I want to work with people that, you know, I get off
with you. Yeah.
So don't not be yourself, you know, say stuff on there. Like, again, there's lots of stuff on there about my kids, because I want to attract other mums into the business as well. I want other parents to think, oh, this is something that I could do around my children. So all of that is fine. So firstly, if you haven't mentioned the business at all on your feed, you need to put your big girl pants on and go and tell everybody what you do and why you're doing it.
So, like, what would be an example for me or yourself? Say, no, you were writing one for yourself and flat, or you were writing one for me. Can we give an example of what you would say?
I would say, if I was writing it for you, I'd say, I really can't believe that I've been working alongside this brilliant company for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
And I haven't really told you lot what I do. Or so, you know, literally something like that. So it's really personable, really real. And you could go straight into like the homeless thing if you wanted to talk about that straight away, or you could just say, I think now, again, with the energy crisis, it's so easy to say, look, you know, I haven't posted this on Facebook because I don't want to be one of those people that's ramming my stuff down your throats. You know, say stuff like that. Use but with the energy crisis as it is at the moment, and us helping so many people, I thought it was only fair that I shared it with you.
Okay.
Just speak. When you're on social media and you're talking to you're writing and you're posting, you want to be talking as if you're sat down with a friend having a cup of coffee. You know, that's the conversation that you want to have on social media. So it sounds like a conversation. It doesn't sound like an advert.
Would you mention like the company's names or name, or would you just say, listen, I'm just, kind of coming out and saying what I do because it would be wrong not to in this climate,
I would say I've been a partner with UW for 8 years.
Yeah.
Let them ask you what that is. If they don't know, that's fine. If they say, what's that then, Claire? That's perfect. That's a perfect in, isn't it? To go and tell them.
And how could you close it up? So if you need any help or no,
don't do.
There you go. You see.
Yeah. So sometimes I might put call to action, like I did on that homeless one. That was an actual reach out. Let me help you. Whatever it was, I can't work out. Yeah, but that was a sort of call to action. But most of the time, people write brilliant posts and then spoil it by saying at the end, please PM me for more information.
Yes, I would have done that.
Yeah, you don't need to do that, because if they want to know more, they'll get in touch with you.
So how would you close it up then?
You don't necessarily need to close it out. Just, I'm just really proud to be part of such a great forward-thinking company. Something like that to finish it. I'm really excited about the future. I'm really, really pleased to see how many people we can help this winter, or something like that, so it's just a really positive ending, but you don't need to spoil it by saying, here's my number, ring me up and come around.
If you want some free gas. Yeah.
Some free gas.
What about doing like a live if you're gonna start, if you're really bold?
Absolutely. So the most seen things, and the thing that Facebook likes the most, is lives and live videos. Wow. So I know lots of people are petrified about doing a live, but if you're okay with the live, then do that little intro and that chat live.
Yeah.
Who said that? Revealing too much concerns me. How do you safeguard your personal life against professional life, against fraud? I don't really understand what you mean by that, because I don't do anything fraudulent, so I don't need to worry. You can, whoever that was, if you want to unmute yourself and ask, was it Clive?
Yeah, hang on, it was me. Hello.
Hi, Clive. How are you? I've seen you for ages. You all right?
No, I thought I'd dip my toe back in and try and make some waves.
Good
man.
I think my question has been misunderstood. What I was meaning was, especially I've got adopted children.
Yeah.
So what concerns me, I'm very cagey about what I put on Facebook, because I know there's people out there who make a living out of searching for life stories, I know there's a bit over the top thinking, but that is a concern to me. So how do you balance between what's positive image and what's too much information? Does that make sense as a question?
It does, Clive. I think you're in a very unique situation if you're safeguarding your kids, and obviously then I wouldn't put stuff on my kids on there. Yeah, and
of course, yes.
So actually, as long as you don't put stuff about your kids on there, then actually it doesn't make any difference. But that's a personal judgment.
Okay.
Personally, my life is my business and my kids, and it does all flow into each other, so there isn't a sort of clear cut. Obviously, some of you might have a job, so you can't mention, there's all sorts of reasons why you might not be able to do that on Facebook. So, you do what you feel's right.
Okay.
But if there isn't a job clash, there's no reason why you can't be telling people what you do, but obviously nothing to do with your kids, if that makes sense. So
yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay, good. Right.
Thanks, Celia, for that advice on, how we could start the post
going.
going.
So a third of your posts, completely social. A third of your posts. So if somebody looks at your Facebook profile, they should be able to say 3 things about you. So I always say my 3 things are: firstly, I'm a mum. That's very obvious from my post. Secondly, I am a partner with UW. Thirdly, at the moment, you'd probably say I also run a business called Passion to Pocket, and that is very obvious if you look through my feed. Not so long ago, the third thing was that I drink too much wine. So I'm quite glad that that's I've balanced that out now. It looks like I'm being much more productive.
Cleaning up your profile.
Cleaning up my profile. So if you look through yours, then now some of you I know don't post very often, or you're thinking I don't put anything off. I know Claire's shaking her head because she doesn't use it. But why not start? Why not start? If you want to join the online revolution of business building, and it doesn't matter that our business is mostly offline, face-to-face, online is where it is happening. And if you want to start and build your business, you need to start connecting with people online. And you think about the remote opportunity we've got with remote appointments and everything else. It doesn't matter where people are. So I would advise, but this is another thing. Oh, someone's missing my wine post. The other thing is, when we're talking about 2022, and when the short course I'm doing, which I'll mention in a bit, it's not just about, right, I'm going to start doing more on Facebook. If you're going to do it properly, you actually need to plan your content and plan your strategy and actually think about it, put some thought into what you're going to post and when. which 3 posts am I going to put in? How am I going to balance it? Mine is very not thought through at the moment. It is very off the cuff.
Very good at it though, Celia.
But it's quite well balanced. If you look back, it just sort of naturally is. And then we've been talking on the other course we did recently about Facebook groups and setting up your own groups. Sue Rowe has just set up an amazing Facebook group called Bills Can Be Fun, which she did as a result of the course we're on, and building a sort of a little audience and a group in there. So there's some amazing stuff that can be done. We can't go into it longer. This is a whole training on its own, but I just wanted to give you some ideas. And I don't think we should be hiding behind UW, but don't put, do you want cheap gas and electric? You've got to be really think about it. And very often I put a post up and I get all these messages from people saying, can I copy your post? Can I steal your post? And I'm afraid I always say no.
No.
And that's not me being selfish. It's because Facebook won't put it to the top of your feed if you're just copying it. All right. So you really need to, yes, use the information, but make it yours. All right. Really, really make it yours. Sorry, what's that in the chat about someone, only one person outside the company liked the post? Don't worry about who likes it. I went to a party last year, 2 years ago it was, rubbing into myself. It's when I just got back from Tenerife the last time I went, 3 years ago. Went to a party with a load of people I hadn't seen for years. And nearly all of them said, oh, lovely photos. Oh, that pool looked lovely. Oh, the weather looked nice. None of them had liked or commented on my post, but they had all seen it.
That's a really good point. Just because we don't press like doesn't mean we haven't seen the bloody thing. I'm not a big social media person, but I will scroll through it in bed or whatever, and I look at loads of posts and never comment or say a thing. But it doesn't mean I haven't taken it in.
Absolutely. And the whole thing now, it used to be a thing in marketing that you had to see something 7 times before you bought it.
Rubbish.
It's now 23 times because of so much on social media. So if you're not posting quite regularly what you do, you're thinking you're annoying your friends and family, but you're not, because most of them are not seeing it. Only I've got 2,700 Facebook friends, but only a tiny % of them will see what I post. And the same with you. So if you're never posting about your business, you're never telling anyone. All right. Does that make sense? You've got to up it.
Wow.
And if you're not connecting with other people and liking and posting and commenting and sharing their stuff, they won't see what you post anyway.
So how doesn't everyone see it? Because, is it literally because not everybody will look at their phone and look at it?
Yeah,
or is it just
with algorithms?
Algorithms, yeah.
So Facebook will give you more of what you want. So if you start connecting with other people, Facebook will push your stuff into their feed. If you're not, you won't. And that's why quite often people say, oh, it's only the utility warehouse people that, ever comment on my stuff. It's because you probably comment more on theirs, and you've also got very similar interests and you're posting similar things. So Facebook thinks you want to see all their stuff, but actually they're probably the last person you want to see. So just think about that as you're going through. Like I say, it's a massive subject. And
I told you she was an expert.
I'm not an expert. I've just muddled my way through. I have done a lot of training and stuff this year.
Yeah, you have, though.
Really helping, and it's great. And I do enjoy it, but mostly it's social. Get on there and chat to people and help people out, and all that sort of thing.
Can I just?
How do we get around support if an upline doesn't support you posting on social media? Is your upline your boss? That's my question. Does your upline rule your life? Can your upline tell you what pajamas you're going to wear in the morning or what you're going to have for breakfast? I hope I'm not being offensive to anybody's upline now, but quite frankly, it's your business. Okay. So the day you
just put that.
Yeah, or your 200 quid.
And now, Celia, we had this conversation when we went away to my lodge a couple of months ago, and we had this big debate, the 4 of us. And I gotta say, I was swayed because I'm in the not camp. I'm in the let's keep the intrigue camp. But let's be honest, guys, everything's changed. If we don't take advantage of this perfect storm now, when is the time to do it? But it is about not spamming everyone, and it is about being clever and thinking it through.
Tell stories, tell your team stories, do recognition, make it interesting. Right, that's all I would say. Make it really interesting. Stories. People like to read stories, and you don't have to wait. So if you say, well, I haven't got a team to recognize, you can go cross team. Lauren Brown said, I get told off for posting on social media. It depends what you're posting, Lauren. No one could tell you off for telling your story. All right. So it does depend what you're posting a little bit, but I would, yeah, just think about it. If anyone wants any further advice, or send me, I always say this and I always regret saying it, but I don't mind. If anyone wants to send me a post that they're thinking of posting, or they want some advice on it or whatever, then just shout.
The thing not to do would this be a bad thing, you know, posting a picture of the UW logo and saying, I can help you get cheaper bills, message me now.
Yes, don't do that.
That's bad. Like Celia said, tell a story. You know, I went to see somebody last night. I saved them £200 on their bills. That kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. A customer story. You know, tell a customer story. Obviously, get their permission. But if they give you permission, even better, get them to tell the story.
Yeah, and tag them in. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Or better still, are you big on social media? Would you mind putting a shout out? Exactly. Do you say that? Well, tell us what you tell your customers to say, Celia.
So I would just say, if you know, if you think this has been helpful, obviously please share with anyone else you know. But one step further would be, would you mind just popping a little post on Facebook and tagging me in it? If they're a friend or someone that you know, or someone that's happy to do that, absolutely. And like, so the thing about the networking and the reciprocal stuff is that you are like a mini influencer. Now, you know, influencers on Instagram are usually people with millions of followers and they get paid loads of money for advertising products. Yeah. But we're all influencers because we all have an influence over our audience. So my friends and family and people that are loyal to following me do listen to what I say and they trust me. So if I was to say, oh, Claire's pantomime she was in was absolutely amazing, I think you all should go and buy a ticket for it. Some of them would. All right, that's me recommending a friend that I believe and trust, you know, and sharing their stuff. It's just like I did with Helen Jones and the Temple Spa stuff. It's beautiful products, you know, recommend it. I recommend my friend who's an accountant. You are like a mini influencer when you do that. So just remember to always return the favor. So if you've got a customer that's also a client, as it were, then you can just say, right, we're gonna share, you know, I'm going to share your stuff. Or don't even ask them. You go and share their stuff first. That's even better, you know. So if you have bought off someone or you've used someone's services and it's been good, go and give them a shout out on social media. Yeah. And then they will naturally want to do it back. Right, we're going to have to get back into the slides and keep, we haven't got loads more to, I know that, like I said, we could
while you're doing the slides, I was on GoPro and they talked about social media and they were saying that, you know, there should be engagement posts, like funny things, like putting a quote up, you know, what was your dream job when you were a child? That's an engagement post. It gets people to engage and a chat, and then you can see, oh, I haven't spoken to Celia for ages. Let me private message her. Celia, so you post, you know, and you can start a conversation that way. Then curiosity posts. So posts about, you know, being to an event today with 1,000 like-minded people who want to better themselves, stuff like that, you know, the curiosity stuff. So engagement posts, curiosity posts. And they said your daily method of operation should be, you know, adding 3 names to your list, commenting on three posts or stories, Celia. So commenting on 3 people's other stories, other people's stories. And then you can delve in, you know, and ask 3 people if they're open. But
I watched that and I was a bit cringed by that a little bit, only because it's not quite such a thing at the moment to be jumping into people's inboxes saying, are you open to an opportunity? No, you know what I mean? So we've got to be a bit careful about that.
Again, it's timing, isn't it? If you've built up a relationship with someone on social media that you haven't seen for ages, you're not going to kiss them on the first date.
No.
You're gonna get that conversation going, and then you may mention it 5 weeks next Sunday.
Yeah. And if it's a business person, ask them, you know, say, should we have a one-to-one? Should we have a Zoom? Should we have a coffee? Should we, you know, have a virtual coffee? Should we have a proper chat about what we do and how we can help each other? Because that doesn't have to be a formal networking occasion. You can do that with anybody you meet. And I've done loads of that. And had meetups with people and chatted to them and asked them how I can help them. And then at the end, I'll just say, by the way, are you a customer yet with UW? And they say, no, not actually. Right, we need to sort that out. That's it. That's my line. And, you know, next minute, we've got an appointment. Right, so we're just going to rattle through the rest of it. I just wanted to make sure that you're all aware of all the training that is available on the portal. So again, if you haven't been doing anything for a while, some amazing training on there. Go and do the getting started again. That's obviously the first one, but there's these short trainings, going for double gold, recruitment, goal setting, building a pipeline. They're all about 30 minutes, that's all, and packed full of information. And we've got someone in the waiting room. Claire, are you okay to let?
Danny, yeah.
Thank you. Then there's getting to future team leader or senior team leader, whatever level you are in the business. And there's also telephone skills. So there's loads of training there to help you get going. Right, we're just going to talk.
Is getting to STL, Celia, is this week, 6 o'clock with me and Celia, actually, this Wednesday.
It's not me, is it? No, it's not me.
It's down, I've got it down as you and me.
I know, it's not, because I was supposed to be going on holiday anyway. Long story, we'll talk.
Oh, yeah, so, but I'm doing it. So getting to STL is this Wednesday, 6 o'clock. If you want to book on, get on the portal and book it on.
But Claire, just talk about Mastermind quickly.
Yeah, right. Very quickly. It's next weekend, okay? December the 11th and 12th, 4 till 8 p.m. on those 2 days. Because I'm speaking, I know if you're all bored of me, put your fingers in your ears, I know, right? I've got a discount code. If you go to mastermind.com, buy your ticket, you get about a $50 discount. The ticket works out at about 50 quid. So when you buy your ticket, there'll be a little box to put a discount code. If you put Claire in there, you'll get the ticket for 50 quid. So 2 days event, 50 quid, amazing. Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you, Claire. And Claire's speaking and she's going to be awesome as well. So
God,
that's really good.
So.
And just a quick mention, so I've been doing a few short courses. So this isn't UW specific, but it's a general sort of goal setting, looking at the wheel of life and planning, proper planning for 2022 to make it your best year ever. So it's running on January the 4th, 5th and 6th. It's just 7 p.m. for 1 hour on Zoom each night. It will be recorded. So if you can't attend live, you can have the recordings. It's also going to come with a workbook and a planner. It's really, really good at you looking at the last 12 months and making a proper plan for next year and putting stuff into action. So that's 35 quid. There's the link there. I'll email that out as well. And I can't believe I've got a spelling mistake on there. Look at that. Up until midnight tomorrow.
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 So I'm going to do a course on social media because the thing is, like Celia is like a qualified business coach. She does know what she's doing. And this is her other business. So, you know,
there's some social media planning in this course. There is some about social media planning, but again, not in massive detail. And I'll email both these links out to everybody with the recording. All right, tomorrow, so you'll all get a link of that. Obviously, we really, really, really need you to get to the kickoff, and not just get you to the kickoff, but make sure you get all your team to the kickoff. So go on the portal, go to team view. You can click on filter. You can go down and you can see who out of your team have booked already. And really do pick up the phone and get as many people there as you can, because we know that events are definitely the glue that keep your business together. That's where you get all your light bulb moments. That's where you are surrounded with that wonderful feeling of positivity and inspiration. Obviously there, March 19th and 20th is Power Up as well, and that will be at Telford. So really excited, hopefully that we're not going to get locked down again and we are able to have these events. Let's be positive. And that's it. And what is the time?
It's 8 o'clock. Bang on. We bloody smashed it. Any questions? Now, does anybody want to ask anything to Celia about any of the stuff that she's covered? Because I've made 2 pages of notes here, and I'm going to put my big girl pants on and I'm going to do a bit of social media stuff. I'm even going to do a live, to be honest. And it's made me happy that Celia said that not everybody's going to see it.
Yeah, that's true, because you think that, like, no, they're not.
Like because I'm afraid people will think, oh God, gosh, it's really gone bad for Claire. She was on the telly and now she's selling gas and electric. That's my self-limiting belief kicking in. Okay, I'm being honest with you. I'm very honest about my journey and about things that happen. I'm not an SGL that stands up on the stage and goes, yeah, it's amazing, it's easy, everything I touch turns to a double gold, or a partner that gets to SGL. I will always be honest, and I think that's very important. Authenticity is one of my things, as you all know.
Yeah.
And I have been very scared of social media and about doing it wrongly. And it scares me, to be honest with you, and I'm not great at it because I'm not into it, and that's something that I'm going to work on next year.
Be yourself. That's all you need to do is be yourself, and really be yourself. Talk in your language, as if you're having a chat with a friend, and you can't go far wrong. And you wouldn't sit down with a friend and go, Claire, I can get you cheap gas and electric.
Yeah. I know. I need to put my big girl pants on, and I think if anybody wants to join me on that pants putting on moment, then reach out. Glenda, did you want to ask a question?
Where is she?
Or let's ask.
Sorry, just a quick one.
Yeah. Hi, Glenda.
So brilliant. Really loved that session. Thank you both very much. Yes, I do follow you very closely, Celia, on Facebook. I might sort of tweak and pinch some ideas of you.
Yeah.
So, one of the things I would like to request from both of you, and Tamsin and Tom. You know, the leadership program we did last year, where I buddied up with two great other partners, Alison Lawton and Jenny in London. You know, it carried on the buddying, you know, the buddying really worked, but you know, it's hard to sort of keep going when you haven't got that leadership program sort of, you know, so I really want to find a really, you know, well, obviously reach back out to the buddies that I've already got, but yeah, if we could promote a buddy program, I'd be well up for it.
Yeah, that's good. And I think we will, you know, the fact that we didn't carry that on regularly doesn't mean we won't do some of that stuff again. And I think, you know, a sort of a leadership meeting, cross-team meeting every now and then would be a really good thing to do. So we'll definitely look at doing that. And I mean, I've really enjoyed, I mean, I love working with Claire anyway, you know, we're mates, and this is great. And you know, it does help because we all hear different things from different people, don't we? And you know, you can have the best upline leader in the world, but if you hear them all the time, you stop listening. And so it's nice to have a voice.
I like buddying up. Like I haven't, you know, I've had a bit of a crappy month, so for me, that buddying up with Celia tonight and seeing you lot on here certainly picked me up and helped me. You know, it's all about that. It's about reaching out to your friends and going, hey, you know, I'm struggling a bit, can we join arms, you know?
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And me and Celia have done that together a lot over the course of our career in UW.
Yeah, we really have, and it's just ace. And you know, it is important to have someone that you can be honest with as well. You know, that's why the cross team stuff really helps. You know, you can just be honest and say it how it is, and then help each other, which is brilliant. Okay, so has anybody got any other questions? If not, we're going to wrap up now, but you're very welcome to ask anything you want to, or obviously when I will, so anyone that registered before tonight will get an email tomorrow with the recording and the links and stuff. So if you've got any questions you want to send back to us, then that's absolutely fine. And it's been awesome. So thank you all very much for coming along. How many we had? Yeah, nearly 50, I think just over 60.
Yeah, over 50, yeah.
That's pretty good turnout actually. So well done all. And
thanks Celia for letting us jump on and,
no, that's fine.
Being such a wonderful friend as always.
No, that's fine. Thank you, Jerry. And
a lot.
Yes, if you do want to pass this recording on to other team members, please feel free. All right, it'll be a YouTube link. So if anything and it's been useful, then please pass it on. That's absolutely fine. Okay, good night, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. Make sure you make it count because you're never going to get tonight back. And I will see you all very soon. If I don't see any of you, have a wonderful Christmas, because I can't believe we're saying that already. But yeah, have a great Christmas, everybody, and catch up with you soon. Oh, look, there's an elf. Oh, James.
No elf on the shelf. I love him. It's making me laugh. Brilliant. Yeah, happy Christmas, everyone. Nadolig Llawen, you know, still go for it in December now. The first 2 weeks away, you can still make it happen. After that, everyone goes into Christmas mode. So keep putting the foot on the gas, keep picking up the phone, get the appointments in now in the next week before everybody goes Christmas crazy.
Absolutely. And then as soon as Boxing Day's gone, you're at it again, because between Christmas and New Year, no one's can do anything much.
Yeah, nobody's interested. We should look forward in Christmas and the New Year at Celia's wine posts again.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That's something to look forward to.
Yeah. Plenty coming. Don't worry. I won't disappoint you. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thanks, Celia. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, Claire. Bye.
Sharing's caring. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Let's make it count. Let's go to work and book on Mastermind if you haven't already, because it's a bloody great event.
Yeah,
it's very real. It's not all showbiz and pizzazz. It's a different sort of feel completely, and it's great value for that, I think. Good night, elf on the shelf.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night, everybody. Thanks, Celia.
Bye, Claire. Bye.